Good morning, channel friends. Did we sleep? Are we relaxed? Ready to paint? We did the hard work yesterday, so today we will relax and have fun. So, even if it takes a lot of effort, preparing a piece of furniture is also gratifying because cleaning it, removing the old stuff, revealing the wood grain is truly a journey. If someone gave them to you already like this, it wouldn't be as fun, right? It's tiring but fun. Today we are using a color that I don't often use because I'm a fan of strong, bold colors, bright greens, dark blues, blacks, reds, and magentas. This past year, I've used very few soft colors. Can you tell the truth? I can see Enjoy on this furniture. I was undecided between Julia's Grey and Enjoy. Julia's Grey is a very soft color. I think it would have lightened the shapes, but it blended too much with the marble. Instead, the Enjoy has this soft, rosy hue that I really like. Let's apply the first coat of Enjoy on both. Let's start. Which brush are we using? Elisabeth, as always. Let's go. Show you how much Enjoy covers both the drawer, which is still colored, and the other, which is wood. The Elisabeth brush is an exceptional brush that covers very well both surfaces that are more lucid, that are already painted, and those that are already washed and often wood. Look at this. Yes, we are following the style that this chest of drawers already had, but I really like it. This pure, fresh color that tastes like country. Beautiful. Voila. An exceptional coverage. You can see the only thing visible underneath is the wood grain. We were so good at cleaning the surface that the steps of the old paint are not noticeable. You can see only and exclusively the grain of the underlying wood. Beautiful. Let's see how it covers on wood. Oh, how lovely. Here you can really see the contrast between the wooden part, which was already very beautiful and pleasant, and the covered wooden part. Beautiful, it's velvet. I like it. I am very happy with this shade. I haven't used it for a while and it's always nice to backtrack. Crossed brushstroke. To cover better, and then you smooth to remove any imperfections. Remember, this is just the first coat. It seems a complete coverage, but it's only the first coat. Let's do details and move on to the rest of the furniture. second coat of Enjoy is hardly necessary, as the first one adhered well and has covered everything. So the second is really an extra. But if you do apply a second coat, always apply it pure. This way you'll save money, in the sense that you will see that, by stroking the surface, as I am doing, you will get amazing coverage. So if there are areas where you are not very precise, as it's not necessary, or you might slip, if you don't dilute the paint, you will always have amazing coverage using very little color. So, make good use of this and stop diluting the paints when it's not necessary. Especially when the surfaces are extremely smooth and diluting can also create a problem. Look at this. I haven't loaded any more paint. I did it up there. I spread it all over this perimeter, and I haven't taken any more paint. Did you see how much I saved? So don't dilute it. If you don't need to, don't do it. On these two chests of drawers we almost not. There is still a lot of work to be done. Well, we are almost at the end as far as the decorative part is concerned. We chose Vigorous Violet, a huge redesign transfer. Remember to view the area in English, you need to look down here. These are in inches as they are Americans and they use inches for measurements, right? Instead we use centimeters. On the website, we have converted from inches to centimeters. Note, I said 48 by 35 inches. It's quite big. Now I will show you. To be sure of the width, turn it around and remember that here is the drawing. In this case, it's hard to see it on a black background. But this transfer is made up of 3 pieces and another 3 pieces. It should be laid out like this, horizontally, but we, who always upset the apple cart, apply it differently. We don't want to lay it on the front of the drawers. Too ordinary, we want to lay it on the sides. And we will use the 3 pieces. Instead of placing them vertically, we will place them horizontally. And we will remove the writings enriching the floral part. We won't use them, we'll set them aside and use them for something else. So, now we use the first 3 pieces and create our composition on the surface, then apply them together. This way, you can also see how to choose the method of applying a transfer. One more thing, I'll show you the wallpaper that we'll use in a bit because I love it. It's from the Parato line, and always remember that at Magic Paint dealers or on elisahome.com you can find it in 2 versions. If you need a whole roll or 2 rolls because you have to do a whole wall, go ahead and buy them. If you simply have to decorate a display case rather than some drawers because you want to make them look better, all you need to do is buy them by the meter. You need 3 meters. Buy 3 meters. The width is 53 and the length is 10 meters. So if you need 2 meters, buy 2 meters, no problem. And we are going to combine this wonderful pattern, which reminds me of the Chanel style jackets from the 90s. Which are too beautiful, with the beautiful shade of Vigorous Violet, which is slightly purplish, but with a hint of green and cool, which I think look great together. This wallpaper for the drawers, to make them nice and neat, finished, because I will put some clothes in here and I want them to look nice, also washable, cleanable, with these transfer. Let's get started. We started from the center, taking one of these transfers, which should, however, be placed horizontally. It should be like this. Also because here, there are some white writings that should be red. But we reinterpret it like an explosion of flowers that goes everywhere so nothing actually changes. But we remove the writings. If we don't place them on the right side, they'd look bad. So we remove the writings and we'll use them for other makeovers on other furniture, right? Yes. The transfer pieces that we will not use today will be used in many other ways later on. We often mix them with different styles as well. Here you can see there's a mark, so we'll use the central part. I'll go here, Emma will go down to the center, and we'll make it go to the edge. The design must reach the edge of the wood. To do a good job, it is necessary to remove the protective paper, otherwise we won't be able to see where we are going. Let's be extremely careful, Emma, not to apply the sides to the furniture. Okay, are you good? Yes. So, we are good here. I'm almost there. Unfortunately, since they are old pieces of furniture, they are not perfectly straight, quite the opposite. But we will stick them gradually, without making a mess. Let's start adhering one side using our sticks. Slowly, we go here. I start from the center again, and we make it adhere here as well. So, Emma, can you do this side? We make everything stick and go up and to avoid wrinkling, also because we have to carry on with the other piece that will make the finish. Emma applies her piece, I apply mine. I take the cutter and cut in the middle. This way, both Emma and I will have our small piece of plastic to remove, and the design will still be perfectly applied to the base. This way, there won't be just one piece of plastic to remove, but two, and we can work without bothering each other. So, I scrape my part, and Emma scrapes hers. The central part has been attached. Let's glue my part, then yours. We have to join the center to the first side. This part here has no writing, so there's nothing to remove. If stay there, you have to help me be precise, Emma. You have to be very precise for one simple reason. If you don't set it right, you'll see the line overlapping. And it's important that it's perhaps a little higher. That's enough. I'm okay. How about you? Yes. Okay. So let's do this, starting from here. And then attach it to the other side. You see that, placed like this, it completely fills a whole part of the side, and it's very nice, because we're going to use the same type of subject, but instead of putting one piece horizontally, on one side only, we're going to fill both sides. 2 birds with 1 stone. We scrape and continue. I must say the transfer shades go really well with Enjoy, right, Emma? Yes. A beautiful discovery, indeed very elegant, but also extremely modern. The second piece has been placed. They form this unique canvas with a side design. It's not obvious, as usually the design is on the front. Why did I say 2 birds with 1 stone? Because with just 1 tube, 1 purchase, we decorated 2 pieces for 1 project. Wonderful. Let's place the last piece to finish the side. There are writings here, so we remove them before sticking them where they shouldn't be. Hold it. Remove the protection. Help me position it. I'll be up, you'll be down. I am a bit too high. Now it's fine, but maybe you should pull a little. Check it out. Okay. Always start from the part close to the center, then proceed to attach everything. Let's go. The first part is finished. Now we'll do the other one and show it to you. Remember, they are different. It was a horizontal explosion of flowers. Take a good look. The width is 84.5. And since we have chosen a very clever wallpaper, which means it doesn't have a direction, because it doesn't have a flower or writing on it, we can safely take it and unroll it and let the excess go to the front. So it will stay nice and neat. Right? Let's cut the wallpaper. Be careful and place the design face down to avoid damage. Place it on a smooth surface and cut it to 84.5.
I use this iron ruler, which is very convenient because it is rigid. This goes up to 74, and then I will add 10. I add 10, and you have to add a half. Let's make it 11 then. That way I have a bit more in case the front is a bit different.
From the top as well.
Can you align it for me, please?
Let's cut. Thanks to the measurements she took, we can be sure. Mind you, watch out, I've put cardboard underneath. Be careful, don't carve underneath. Sometimes we say these things that seem obvious, but someone might not think about it. Then they end up with a scratched piece of furniture. Voila! This is the first perfectly cut wallpaper sheet. Look at it. As Emma said, we often measure that extra ½ millimeter because old furniture and drawers are not always perfect. Sometimes they are wider or narrower, but look here, it's perfect. And we would need to remove a bit more excess, but we can do this, Emma, if you want. We go slightly backwards, so you start from the front, glue it, and this way we don't have to waste anything and it goes to the back border. Now we show how to prepare the glue for the wallpaper, because we will use it in all 8 drawers with wallpaper glue. Remember that there are 2 types of glue. There is the classic glue for light wallpaper, made of paper or vinyl, and then there are also the heavy wallpapers. Why? Because sometimes the paper is applied to the walls that can be high, 3.5 meters or 4 meters, and the sheet of paper is heavy. They are made of vinyl and are heavy. So there is a special glue to use with heavy wallpaper. Can you show us how to make it?
Powdered glue and water. All the measurements are written on the back, but they are meant for large quantities. We have to use it for a drawer, or in any case for these 8 drawers, so we will go by eye. So I put some water in the bowl.
This is enough for 8 drawers. Remember that wood absorbs more than a wall, so the wood will absorb some glue. You can make some more, and if you see that it absorbs, add more. You can still remake it.
I will add the powder little by little, a few grains to make it dissolve well. Like when making polenta. Yes.
But a very liquid one. We use this bowl, which is the recycled container we always use. You can use whatever you like. A plastic saucer a little deeper, a recycled tray, or a bucket. In this case, For this particular project, we use specifically the powdered glue because it is considerably much stronger. When we use spray glue for wallpaper, it's for smaller projects to glue much smaller things, like boxes and other items. For larger projects, like these 8 drawers, it's better to use a more stable glue. Look at the thickness the glue has reached. It is a jelly. So be careful when adding it because it takes a second to thicken. It could be that with a little warm water, it will thicken faster. We should try one day, and one day we will. Let's apply the glue only where you want the paper, not everywhere. We have decided that we will put it on the back and the front panel. Here, just a little piece, we'll put the glue later. Let's start on the front panel and the back. Do you know why? Because it has no handle, and so even if you sometimes have to apply wallpaper in places that are tight and difficult to reach, where you have to be careful because you don't want to ruin the painted part, it is much easier. This brush is also really perfect for making decoupage adhere well in general, all types of decoupage. I find it good for certain types of washes, some types of dry brushing. For patina and antiquing, it's a very handy brush. And it comes with 2 types of bristles, both the horsehair bristles and ones that are more scratch resistant.
Let's always remember that this glue doesn't dry immediately, so it gives us time to work with the paper and it doesn't stain the paper. So you can easily clean it with a damp cloth if it goes a bit over the paper.
Let's show that it's dripping and the brush is slightly dirty with brown. This is not because the furniture is dirty, because it has been washed a lot, but because it simply loses tannin, and let's also say that the tannin on our color has not come out in any way, because we have used pure paint. If you use pure paint on some furniture that has a lot of tannin, so you don't put water in either the first or second coat, the tannin often doesn't come up. Remember, you need to protect it with wax, not with protective paint, otherwise it will rise. Okay, will you start with the front part? I'll help you and keep it in place. Always remember it is better to start from the center towards the sides. This way you'll avoid bubbles forming. Now Emma will take the spatula and glue it well. I would start from here, not back there. Do the section well.
I remove the air.
If you see the glue doesn't make the paper stick right away, don't worry, it's because it needs to set. So, when the glue becomes slightly stickier, the paper sets and adheres perfectly to the surface. However, an important thing is what Emma is doing, which is to remove all the air bubbles, because air bubbles obviously prevent the paper from sticking well and the glue from gripping. So, remember, you should always carefully and gently push any remaining air from the center towards the outside. This paper is very durable and moreover it is embossed, making it very pleasant to the touch. As I told you before, if in some places you see that there are still slightly raised parts, it is precisely because the glue is starting to set. So in a little while I will keep going over it and you will see that it will stick.
We apply a coat of wax on the entire piece of furniture. I start from the side and use jasmine wax, our protective, natural, jasmine-scented wax. We protect with wax, both because the piece of furniture will go in a walk-in wardrobe and therefore won't undergo daily heavy washing with aggressive surfactants, and also because this way we avoid the potential release of tannin. I spread the wax using the crossed brush stroke, so I will brush both vertically and horizontally. drawers. So I spread the wax, first in one direction, then the other, and finally stretch it along the entire length. Let's apply these knobs with a bee. I use the same holes. Remember on the inside to punch a hole in the paper. So in coincidence with the hole with an awl, a cutter, or scissors, make the hole so that you don't tear it. They look very good. Now I will finish assembling the knobs. We will bring up the piece of furniture along with the polished marbles and show it to you in its setting.
This makeover is finished. What do you think? I like it. What do you like? I find it elegant, both classic and modern. Even if it's Enjoy. Yes, because Emma said to me you'll get bored of Enjoy. But this time, Enjoy was the right color. It looks good with the marble, it's quite glamorous. It takes a nice tone. This video isn't to show you how easy it is to apply a color and a transfer, since this step was very simple. We did several steps. We stripped the paint with a heat gun and showed you there are times when the heat gun works much faster than a paint remover. There were 4 layers of paint here. It was crucial to act this way. Then we showed how important it is to clean the interiors and scent them, as these are pieces of furniture that have been in disuse in cellars for many years, making them clean and healthy. Here is a surprise, the marble. Beautifully polished. We commissioned a very good guy here in Castellamante, who is a stonemason, and he polished them for us. Because they are too beautiful. I need to see if it is classic Carrara marble or a very, very light marble, and I think it was worth making it perfect by polishing it. He did not remove the old marks from the past. You can see some stains. It's an old piece of furniture. It has been repainted and the marks of the past are still there, but seeing it shiny is different. And he was very honest. Don't think that relying on a professional is expensive. With very little money, you get a piece that will easily last another 100 years without issues. And side by side, even if they are not straight, even if they are not perfect, they are beautiful. Yes, is the perfect piece of furniture. Please remember, if you need an island in the kitchen, or a small island in the walk-in wardrobe, or something functional, consider it. Take similar pieces of furniture, bring them together, and create these semi-islands within the rooms. They solve many problems. Here, I can now lean and fold things. It's not a given with 3 kids. Goodbye. See you at the next makeover.